Hey! Perfect. No, that's wrong. Perfect. All right. Oh, fucking dyslexia. Why can I never tell which one I'm supposed to turn something to unscrew it? Right, come on, son. Actually fit my head on the screen, almost. Hello. Right. Oh, nobody's watching yet. That's good. I don't know if you can save this afterwards. I probably need to jam something under there so I can rotate the camera up a little bit. More on this side to level it off a bit. There we go. A bit slanty. And then if I put something there, I can kind of show as I'm working on it. So, oh, there we go. That wire. Right, so that's way better. They can actually see what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Not quite there. Let's try about that. Oh, I can see that. I can work on it. There we go. Right. What else is going on? Right. I don't know if you've got any views. Oh, I don't know. So we'll go on the Instagram. Let's see what it looks like. All right. Hello. Well, that's not quite right, is it? Yeah. Got my tripod mount. So that wants to kind of be there, but I don't want this stupid phone to tip over. Tape. That's what we need. Okay. Tape it all the way back, you daft thing. I just want it to fall out. Oh, that'll do. Right. Hello. Welcome to an episode of the Sad Artist, well, live. So, I'm sure lots of you want to see me do some painting, if you haven't seen me do painting before. So it's Sunday night and got some viewers. So, what can you paint on resin with? Hammerite. So, I'm impartially endorsing this product because I like it. And obviously, if you paint with hammerite, you should wear a mask or something. But but I don't. That's possibly, well, I do normally, but obviously we're going live, so you won't be able to hear what I'm saying. I quite like a good palette knife for application. So you'll see me doing my best Bob Ross impression. Here we've got a painting I've been working on. It's covered in plastic resin. So I'm going to do make some marks over the top of that there resin. You have to excuse me a second, you can't see my face. Yeah, so sort of doing my Bob Ross impression here, which I just mentioned. I'm not quite succumbed to memory loss just yet, thanks to the paint. These fumes are pretty strong. So a good thing, you want your working environment to be at a reasonable temperature. So I've kind of put the heater on for a bit. Otherwise, certain paints and things don't cure, particularly solvent-based paints. So I'm just adding some blue to this. I'm in a very blue sort of mode at the moment. So of course, Hammerite's very expensive for paint, but it does kind of give you the freedom to work over almost anything. And obviously I'm going to then trap that paint in resin again over the top, just to make sure it's not going to peel off, and also for quite a nice finish. So one very interesting thing you can do with Hammerite is you can blend it with other Hammerite. And it creates some quite interesting effects that you don't necessarily get with other types of paint, which you'll see in a moment when I start blending it. You get lots of nice separation, which you can then punch back out with a resin wash, say, which I do quite a lot. You'll notice that I get my Hammerite from Poland because it's cheaper, even though based in the UK. How does that work? I don't know. So silver in Polish, as you'll know if you've ever seen one of my live videos before on Instagram, is srebrny. There we go, Polish lesson for the day. So I'm going to mix in some silver into this. Let me move these out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. That's something. Okay. And you get these lovely, interesting blends as the layers separate out. Lovely, nice silvery blue colour starts to emerge. Now just make sure, if you are mixing paint, that you wipe off your knife or brush in between layers, because obviously you don't want to get blue paint in your big jar of silver. So I quite like the effect of when you run a knife over a textured surface and you get these nice blends. Very interesting. Wants to darken off more towards the top here. Okay, when you paint abstract, it's very important to sort of let go of any sort of. Thank you, Yvonne, for pointing this out to me earlier. So I'm a friend of mine. I was just went around to see. When you paint abstract, you need to let go. You can't control what you're doing. It comes from a different place. And that's the important part, and that's what a lot of people struggle with, particularly if you're very inclined at doing detail painting. So this is an obstacle for many people that want to work abstract. You often find that some of the most talented detail painters really struggle with abstract. I've seen it firsthand. Abstract is very much a thing in itself. I mean, me personally, I've kind of gone to a subconscious level almost at painting when I work with abstract. So I kind of know by looking what effect I'm looking to create overall, which is cool. But if you're having trouble kind of finding that creative thing, may I suggest just getting some paint and throwing it out of board or a canvas or something and getting stuck in. So comments welcome on Instagram and YouTube. So if you want me to add a particular colour, then feel free to tell me to do that. So I can't read the comments on Instagram because I haven't got my, oh no, just people watching. So I forgot to bring my little thing that holds the phone. So again, I'm using a makeshift one with tape, and it's all sort of Frankenstein together. Now, a beautiful thing about abstract is, of course, you can rotate the picture as you're working on it and still get a general idea of the kind of image you're building up, because obviously you'll experience it from different angles. Which is quite interesting. Yeah, so what I'm tending to do on this painting is kind of work the layers in sort of silvery blue, but then when I come to the resin, really punch out the reds. I don't know why I'm doing that. I just get that feeling. It's something I want in the picture. So I hope you guys are having a great Sunday night so far. Oh, I've got a like. Yes. Oh, what's going on? I've got some chats going on. Yes, bro. Active demonstrations to the live stream. Yes. Yes. It's what you want though, isn't it, really? I can just stand here talking about paintings, what I have done, or I can show you as I'm working on them. So I'm getting some really nice blends here, which obviously you don't really get that with any other type of paint. So Hammerite's quite interesting. You just, as the pigment separates, you just get a mottled effect, and you see all the pigmentation come through, and it just doesn't work very well, which is great. I like that. I like the effect it creates by not blending particularly. So okay, I think that's about as much as I want to do on this picture today. So I'm going to put that on the drying rack. Okay. Now this picture is a very different beast. So this is what we're working on. Right. Now I'm not really sure about this. I do want to introduce a bit more blue into it, which is kind of lucky because I've already got blue mixed up. Because it did have some blue in originally. And got this nice kind of rose, deep rose colour there. Not like rose the colour, I mean, as in like a rose. I like to cover up that red smear there because I don't particularly like it. I'll work this corner into a bit of blue. Well, actually, I'm not going to be this deeper blue because I'm going to work it back in silver and get a nice blend. I've got some red down there. Yeah, Hammerite don't do a particularly exciting blend of reds, but you find that the European colour palette tends to be a bit more interesting. So if you go shopping in Germany for Hammerite or Poland, you've got a much better selection. Whereas in the UK, we just get British Racing Green because everybody loves British Racing Green. So here we go. I'll build these out. Let's texture out a bit. Yeah, it's sort of becoming a rose, I think. It's just got that rose thing going on. So So who knows what lurks in the subconscious or the unconscious mind that wants to paint a rose. So at the moment, my YouTube watches are beating my Instagram watches, which is great because I've been on Instagram for years. But YouTube Live seems to be the place to be, eh? Sorry, Instagram. It's yeah, just getting a lot of waves on Instagram. Hi. Yeah, sometimes my friend Tim pops on if he's watching live, and he'll give me some feedback. Oh, that looks good. Thank you. Yeah, well, actually, this is the first time I've gone live on YouTube, and of course I've done all those live videos on Instagram, and I didn't realize that you can't really see the painting until I looked at it on the laptop. So I was like, oh, okay. So, so now I'm propping the painting up as I'm working, so you can see what I'm working on. Yeah, I think the laptop's probably, or whatever, you know, if you're on YouTube, it's just a little bit better to see the video because you can sort of zoom in a bit. You can see the painting as I'm working on it. So I'm going to probably pull this back in purple and red when I do my resin washes over the top. That should be fun. Oh, if you haven't checked out my website, it's markedmondsart.com. Easy to find. Give it a look. Got a lot of my previous work on there in various forms. At the moment, I've just launched the Sad Artist recently. So I'll look at some comments in a minute. Yeah, I've launched my website on there. I've launched the Sad Artist on there recently, so that's all. That just defaults goes to that. But have a look through. Tell me what you think. Feedback is always welcome. What's that? Used. We've got Zut Alos. Ah, good. Inbot. Ingabot. Right. Okay, I'll check that out later. I don't know what that is. Is that you, Gord? With your pseudonyms? Possibly. Aha! Yes. Oh, wait, mate. Sorry. I didn't realise it was you. What do you think the painting do? God, it's weird talking to a computer that talks back to you. It's a bit like... yeah, I'm not great at multitasking myself, mate. Yeah, it's a bit unnerving when you actually talking to a computer. It's a bit like 2001: Space Odyssey. Hello, David. Yeah, so this is so Sad Artist. I kind of like want to sort of adopt a bit of a Bob Ross persona now. Just like, so let's just paint a little bit of blue here. And what could that represent? Perhaps it's an angry man in a tree. Perhaps he's really upset. Perhaps he wants to end his life. Who knows? Oh yeah, for those of you that aren't familiar with me, I do go to dark places with my humor, so that's fine. Please try not to be too offended. I'm bound to offend somebody at some point. It's the price you pay for basic entertainment. So, I don't know if I want to leave that bit in there. I don't know. It's weird. I'm kind of looking at it upside down. And yeah, you guys must think I'm just like, oh, I just kind of, motherfucker. Excuse my language. You have to get into a particular mindset sometimes. Just if you want to express something, sometimes you have to force it out. And you don't want to mess up the picture, but at the same time you want to create something. So you kind of, that's when you have to kind of channel into a more destructive mindset. Which kind of, oh, got some talking. What's going on there? Back in 10 minutes, bro. Keep streaming. It's the way forward. I'll explain later. Okay. Cheers, bud. You know what? I'm going to break into some of that red, I think. What do you think, guys? Yeah. So, don't know what's going on the Instagram front. Let's quick check. Oh, Retta Blender. Hi. Yep. So, yeah. It does appear that YouTube is more popular for people actually watching. Part of the way that's running down. That's kind of reclaiming the picture. Right, you know what? It is time for some red, I think. But the trouble is, they're red. The Hammerite maker is a bit. Well, you can see that it's not great. It's not a great shade of red. But if you mix it with something with a bit more depth, like if I jam it into the blue a bit, plus of course it does dry up quite a bit. I do need to get some new red. I just blend it. And we can get some quite interesting tonal, quite an interesting tonal shift. Yeah, if you do get, I kind of like to mix cold colours with hot colours, like a nice contrast. So blue and red, classic. Obviously, I'm not too bothered about cross-contamination of paint at this stage with this amount of paint that I've got in here because it's just tiny. Just to pull out a little red pigment. Okay, so I'm essentially trying to create, I think I'm almost subconsciously trying to create some sort of a flower arrangement. Ah, jeez. So what happens when people, I don't know, what happens when the chat goes off the bottom of the page on YouTube? Does it just keep scrolling back up? Yeah. God, it's ace, isn't it? It's like having your own TV show. Wow. It's great, isn't it, really, social media, when you think about it? Because you sort of, like when I was a kid growing up, it would be ace to be on TV. But obviously it was kind of unattainable for most people. And now you can kind of do it yourself if you want. As long as you've got something worth sharing, I suppose. I hope I've got something worth sharing. So feedback, please. All feedback is welcome. Just if you're enjoying yourselves, you know, good to know. Okay. Flip that up this way. It should be quite interesting because the drips will start running back the other way. I'll work this back out with some black, I think, possibly. Yeah, sometimes it looks a bit strange what I'm doing. It might not make much sense, but if you think in 3 dimensions, you basically start to add resin over the top. It starts to bring out some of the layers, especially the different colours. Had a little bit of a happy accident there. Drip some silver onto the piece, onto the picture. Well, I hope everyone's having fun at home. So I'm going to try and do a regular show at least once a week. Might even be at a consistent time. Who knows? Hopefully. And we'll see what we can do. That's quite a cool image there. It's kind of like, it's almost like a color. It's almost like collage. Wow. It's I quite like. You see, if you keep working into different layers and build out the pattern, you get this kind of strange whirlpool effect. So obviously on the next video, you'll probably see me doing some resin work, and you'll get an idea of how that comes over the top. So if there's anything you want to know about painting, or resin painting in particular, just ask me in the comments. I'll just tell you. I do know quite a bit about painting, but I'm always learning. That's the key. Whatever I can share to help people out, you know. So next year, what I'm looking to do is put together an exhibition in London, and obviously for those of you who are into the Sad Artist project with me, get involved. Submit some of your work. Heavy wipes. Oh no, that's empty. Got another one somewhere. Just don't know what I've done with it. I did have two. Oh, there it is. Obviously, put it on the filing cabinet. Yeah. So, well, if you get involved, you know, just anything, painting-wise, creativity-wise, you know, I'm looking for other people to be in this exhibition with me. I'm not going to charge anything. Just show me what you've got. And I'll take you along with me. You know, it doesn't matter. You don't have to be a professional artist. Just get in touch. I'll set something up on my website actually, so that people can kind of get in contact with me, email me some stuff. You know, if you're an amateur, I'm just trying, or professional, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just want to get people who have kind of like been inspired by the concept of the Sad Artist, which, if you don't know, is just to kind of get people creating, making things. Yeah. So another product placement, but all the stuff I use, I'm not sponsored by anybody. It's just what I use. You know, those big wipes are pretty good. Yeah, I don't think I'm big enough to get sponsored by anyone yet. Lol. Yeah, normally when I'm working, I have music playing, but obviously, all my musical devices are here. I'm sure there's some sort of copyright reason I can't do that as well. Yeah, this is actually starting to become something like a painting there. Build up those layers. And then last, but by no means least, is the corner I don't know what to do with. So I'm just going to do my best to go around it. Because as a base coat, I use grey emulsion. Not my finest design choice, to be fair. So, oh, I've got a few comments. I'll read them in a second. Just gonna work my way along. Like to encourage feedback. Oh, a bit like uni, only difference, you were not told off for talking. Ha. Thanks, everyone. Good old uni. Ah, those are the days. They weren't really. I do miss Steve, though. All right. Work in these red layers. Let's see what's going on. You know what? I want a bit more red over here. I've decided it's a bit too cold. Just working a bit of a red blend. And blend the hell out of it. So yeah, that's the concept of the sad artist. So basically, if you want to join me creating new and exciting works of art, yeah, I'll set something up on my website. That's markedmondsart.com, and you just jump on there, and I'll put some resources on there to get people together. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not really sure how to do this sort of thing. I'm just winging it basically. But you know, if you want any help with anything, just drop me an email via the site, and I'll talk you through it, whatever you're struggling with. Oh, forgot about this one. Yeah, look at that. I love these little kind of test pieces. That's terrible. I'm not going to do that on the camera. Aha! This one's quite good though, but I feel like I will have to crack open some black for this one. You see that all right there? Yeah, that's a bit better, isn't it? Yeah. This one's a bit more muted. I'm not really... Could do with a tiny bit more blue on it, to be fair. But it's a bit darker. You know, I'm going to mix a black in. There's some black. I've got gold. I've got loads of gold. I don't know how much of it's usable. So here we go. Start working some black in. Yeah. Sorry, Instagram, but YouTube's way better for life. People actually watch you. Okay. Got some black going on. Oh, got some comments here. What's going on? Tim Redding, stop talking, please. Brilliant. Is that a university reference? Do I use spatulas? I do use sponges sometimes, Yvonne. Like you see these the paintings in the back. Sponge for relief work over stuff. I'll bring it closer so you can see it. Right, so I won't put it down because I don't want to get paint all over it. So you see that the sky here, that's all sponge in relief. Was that Jordan? No comprendo. Yeah. Right, hopefully that doesn't fall off, but never mind. Right, so little tip that Fred Phillips taught me, bit of name dropping there. You want to use, if you're going to sponge solvent-based paint, you need to use natural sponge. And the reason for that is that synthetic sponge will dissolve. Apparently, I don't know. I was just kidding. Sorry, it's been a long day. I was helping my friend Mark in his allotment this morning. It's made me tired. I'm not really an outdoorsy person. Yeah. So this is quite a dark color I'm using now. It's a little bit black. No, black, why? Yeah, good old black. I think I need to thin this black down. It seems to have gone really thick. Okay, I'm going to thin it. So, I actually own some hammerite thinners. Which apparently has a top that's very difficult to get into. Okay, now hopefully this works. Normally when I thin paint, I just tip some thinner in, put the lid back on, and then shake it like I'm trying to kill it. And you can usually tell by the volume whether it's worked or not. So as soon as you get, oh, that's nice, yeah. Now we're talking. Oh, it's all thin and not lumpy. Yeah, I want to pull out some black. Should we put some red in there? No, I don't like that red. I need to mix something into that to make it. Maybe if I just mix blue into it, it'll go purple. But hammerite doesn't really work like that. We'll probably just end up with two dirty colours mixed into each other badly. So anyway, I'm not sure about YouTube Live, whether it keeps the video for any particular length of time or not. I just don't know. Does anybody know that? Oh, salutations, Dave. Yay, the whole gang's here. Aha. A bit of silver on there. Can you guys all see what I'm doing all right? So this one's a bit of more of a muted palette. I quite like the stain I've created in the middle with sort of muted resin. It's very rare that you see a resin painting that's understated, because obviously everyone just goes with the most intense form of resin they can possibly find. Vivid colours. Well, from what I've seen. So I like to be odd. Just so I get my hands covered in resin. Should probably wear gloves. Resin, hammerite. Yeah, my brain cells are starting to fail now because the fumes are getting to me, which is good. Shows you're working. Looks like there's not enough paint to tip over there. Good stuff. That's why that's a physical demonstration of why you shouldn't just leave things stuck in the top of paint jars. Oh, we've been on 40 minutes. I've been painting for 40 minutes. Wow. I'm badass already. So, is everybody having a good time? That's the important thing. Yeah, nobody's watching on Instagram now. I think I've sort of given up on them. Well, people do watch on Instagram. They tend to watch later though, when you have to put it on. I'm not kind of sure what the best time to do a live show is. I thought it would be Sunday night. Who knows? So vote, guys. Do you prefer watching on Instagram? This is probably aimed at mostly at Tim and Fran. Do you guys prefer? Oh, I don't know if Fran's with you, Tim, but do you guys prefer watching on Instagram or do you prefer watching on YouTube? Tim, loving it. Good to know. It's probably a little bit of a few seconds delay from when I say stuff to when it gets to you. Now we're getting into dangerous territory. I'm not quite sure what to do, how to express it. You know what? Cheers, Yvonne. I'm going to sponge it. Yeah, that's awful. Hasn't worked at all. Maybe it needs a bit of blue. That should do the trick. Yeah, you find that Hammerite's as a paint, it's quite inconsistent what happens when you do different things over different things. So you're never quite sure of the outcome. Which is good, keeps you on your toes, eh? So it just appears that silver is like literally the best colour to sponge in. Let's work it back in with some black. Well, at least I've got the advantage that if I make a terrible mistake on a picture that I'm doing, I can just throw a load of resin over it. I can even start again. I don't know, what is a mistake really? We just don't have mistakes. We have happy accidents. Okay, does anybody know the time limit on a YouTube live stream? Does it cut out after an hour like Instagram? Because I don't know. Totally new to this one. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't stick to the sponge idea. Oh, I'm doing that terrible thing that an artist should never do, retreating to my comfort zone. I always tell people off about it. And here I am just doing it. That makes me angry. Tap into that anger. No, actually, I'm done on this particular one. For now, I'm going to work back into it with some resin around the edges, I think. So that's the plan. I've seen some live streams go on for 12 hours plus. Oh, so you can go all night. Yeah, yes I can. So there we go. I'm entertaining. You can also dance badly if you like. Oh look! I've got somebody's liking me on Instagram. They're following me. Hi. Come join the YouTube fun if you want. Sad artist with a double D. Would you like me to lap dance for you? I've got a painting that's all wet. Yeah, Sound me doing a terrible Alan Partridge impression. It's quite cool though. He's gone. He's gone. Maybe he's going to rejoin the Sad Artist feed. Who knows? They probably won't let that one go 24 hours because I mentioned YouTube. Right, so this bad boy, going up to the rack. Right, what should we work on next? Don't really want to touch this one. Look, I really like it. I'm not sure what to do with it though. See it? The pooch thinks you're hiding somewhere. Love that dog. Can't smell me. Yeah, yeah, this is going to have to go in the I need time to think about it pile. Might even have to go on the wall. Oh, you know what? I've not worked on that big stupid thing for ages. That I don't like, and it's horrible. Yeah, I meant to put some resin on it last time, and I totally forgot. Right, you know what? I need a support board underneath this. That'll do. There we go. Yeah, this one's just crazy. I haven't got a clue what I'm doing with it. You know what, though? It would be a good excuse to break out the gold. Yeah, let's just go mad. Gold. Is it okay if I paint his Yoo-hoo gold? Aha. Yeah, I'm just going to go mad with this. So I've got dirty knees because I've been kneeling down in the allotment. That's my excuse anyway. Love this painting. This one. Good. Because I'm going to ruin it for you. I'm not really. I'm just needs more gold. It needs more something. It's got no bite. It's got no edge. It's quite a bit of emotion. It's very hard to paint angst. You have to basically listen to The Cure on repeat and be very angsty. Just want to be more gold. I want it to be more decadent. Decadent. Decadent painting. Nice shade of gold and black. Maybe the fumes are getting to me. You know what? I'll probably phase out the silver. Probably a good idea to phase out the silver. I'm just not sure, you know. Not crazy about this sort of blue mess up here either. I'm going to paint on my trousers. See, that's got a bit more life in it now. See what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, see, sometimes it helps if you can, like, channel your emotions if you're getting annoyed with something. Have you ever damaged the canvas? Yeah, all the time. I've not got any in here at the moment. They're all wrapped, the ones that I've done that to. Yeah, I started with the canvas just slashing the back, and then I built it back up with tape and with jointing tape and plaster. I I did do that quite a few times. It's quite interesting. Yeah, it basically channels the way the resin flows. So yeah, I mean, I've never unintentionally damaged the canvas. So if I've done it, it's all been, you know, I've never got like so frustrated that I've just kind of stabbed the canvas or punched it or something. That sort of intense frustration is sort of for the boxing ring, I suppose. I don't know. Punch bag. I have a little dummy that I occasionally punch in the face. Yeah, this is becoming something now. I can feel it. Not so sure about black on this one, but no, always trust your instincts. The instincts never lie. Well, mine don't, not when it comes to painting. Well, they do sometimes. Well, I'm a superhuman. Pull it out. Need more resin on this bad boy. See, it's tempting to kind of add more blue. Let's see what happens. Yeah. If I remember at university when Barbara just used to like get really angry and smash canvases, there was these. Haha, it's getting somewhere now. Should I just done that? No, that was before. Yes. Sometimes you sort of like, out of frustration, you sort of get into the zone. You just start to build some kind of like really interesting dynamic shapes. So this is this canvas I got from a charity shop, or I think somebody gave it to me. I used to have a picture of a woman on it. It was a very good picture. It's not very good quality canvas, but it doesn't matter. If you're going to cover it in car paint and resin, does it matter? I don't think so. So flow. Yeah, I often kind of make sure that I work to the edge of the canvas, because it depends. If I get it framed, it doesn't matter, but if you want a painting to be immersive, you don't want it kind of like, I always feel like you don't want a gap around the edge of just blank canvas, underworked canvas. I don't. You don't want anything that's going to, when you look at that painting, that's going to bring you out of that world. You just want to be sucked into it. In my humble opinion, as somebody that paints all the time. In this crazy digital world, I'm actually doing something analog that's being enjoyed digitally. Insane, really. What do we think? Is it getting there? What's going on? What do the comments say? When do you know you have finished a painting? Asking for a friend. Well, Andy always says, that's my mate who's got a studio over the way, and an exhibition on Friday. Andy says that you know a painting's finished when it takes on a life of its own. Me personally, I just feel it. I don't know. Some stuff I whack it on the wall. If I'm not sure, I whack it on the wall and I just keep looking at it. And those two paintings there, God knows when they'll be finished. And then sometimes I think it's just where you get to a point where you kind of like, it's the step after you hit the make or break moment where it's like either you can destroy it, you can murder that painting, or you can pull out something amazing. That's the make or break. That's when you go boom. And it's the step after that. If you do anything else after that adrenaline rush, where it's kind of like fight or flight, I think it's kind of ruined. But then sometimes paintings that I'm doing, I just leave me a bit flat, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So that's some things. Some stuff you just don't know. Sometimes paintings are usually finished a little bit before you think they're going to be. I'll wipe this over here to dry. We'll see what else we've got. Ooh, hello, that's looking good. Time to ruin it with some hammerite. Yeah, kind of like this one, See how we're doing there. It's quite cool, isn't it? Right, this is one where you have to sort of like tune into a zone where you've got to be a bit careful. I'm not going to be putting any gold in it. Although it could do with a tiny bit more black there. Because as you build up the resin layers, it all becomes three-dimensional as you work over the top and into different things, different patterns. Oh, this is quite cool over here. Just want to kind of rest that a bit. Right, what's my posture like? Sorry, I do tend to hunch over when I'm working. So then, what's going on? Yeah, that is an interesting thing. It's just a property of the paint board. So kind of like as you work it, especially with different colours, it doesn't blend very well. You know, I mean, if you want to get a blended colour, it's useless. You can sometimes blend the silver with other stuff. It's just awful. With that with some black. Might just work out all right. Yeah, it's kind of a long process, but you usually arrive at something quite interesting at the end. That's why I work on that, where I work on multiple paintings all at once. That's quite interesting. Quite an interesting blend there. Right, you know what? I've got one more painting to work on. It's a big one, and it's been about an hour. I'm getting don't know about longer than an hour, because that's just, come on, that's going to get boring, seriously, for you guys. Not for me, I love it. So I'm just going to put the big piece on. And this is the pièce de résistance. what we've all been building to. That's me trying to act like I know something in French. So, right, this over here. And, oh, that's looking cool. I didn't even want to touch that. That looks so good. Yeah, don't touch this one. That's like, oh, that's amazing. No, weird turquoise colours in it, all kinds. Yeah, not touching that. Yeah, so these small square paintings, I'm putting them all together. It's one large 9x9 painting, 3x3 painting, 9 painting, 9 square painting, basically. Okay, here it is, the big one. Sorry, the light's shining directly on it. I can't really do anything about that. It's just the way my light in my studio is. Okay, so that end looks like hell. I'm going to put some gold back into that. You know what? I'm going to do a bit of gold at either end on this one, and then we'll call it a night for tonight. Because after that, I've got lots of little things to do. You can't really see. You're not going to be able to see them very well on the camera, so just be doing little things. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's little show. That is quite cool. Pull it out a little bit there. Not sure if you can see that. Yes, that's the basic structure I want to build there. Pull some black out of this. Just to give it a bit of depth, you see. Yeah, I think that's sort of getting there. You know what? It's going mad. Some blue in there. Oh, got a bit of cross contamination. Looks very cool though, doesn't it? You see it? Right. You know, might pull a bit of blue up this side as well. Just in the interest of a bit of depth. Yeah. Cool. Does that look like on the big screen? Getting there, isn't it? Okay, yeah, so my live video's disappeared off Instagram. So that's just shared that. So there you go. That's the first live Sad Artist. Hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Bit tired, so not my usual ridiculous self. So I'm going to carry on with a little bit more painting. Little things like this. It's a little book. Well, you guys enjoy yourselves. So I shall see you next time, hopefully, and hope you enjoyed it. Stay safe.